So once again, we're at a place where there is mass violence, rioting, looting, total destruction, and mayhem all throughout the country in key locations, mostly far leftist cities, poorly run democratic cities, where the leadership usually comprises of Democrats, like Democratic governor, Democratic mayor, that sort of thing. Total losers who don't know how to get a hold of anything, don't know how to get control of any horrible situation or anything like what we're seeing in Louisville, Kentucky. So before I continue, I just need to explain something really quickly, how we arrived at this place and time. So, of course, quick backstory. All throughout the summer, there have been violent race riots perpetrated by the violent Black Lives Matter activist thugs, by the terrorist cell-like organization called Antifa. They've been the main promulgators of this violence and destruction all throughout the country, mostly far leftist, blue Democratic-run cities. Well, the rioting tonight is tied specifically to one incident that involved a woman named Breonna Taylor. Now, here was the fake story. This is the story that was advertised and broadcast to everyone all around the world because for whatever reason, people like Breonna Taylor end up going international, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it happened. So here's how the story goes. Breonna Taylor, brave woman, super brave, can never do anything wrong. She's an EMT. She saves lives. She wants to further her career and just help people because she's an empath. She's all about empathy. She's empathying all over the place. That's who she was. She was asleep after watching Disney Plus all night. She was saving lives, so she was just watching her favorite shitty corporate propaganda cartoon bullshit on Disney Plus, and she passed out, and she's sleeping like a baby, knowing that she saved lives. And then these little dick incel warrior police officers are serving a no-knock warrant. But they didn't go into the right house. They went into Breonna Taylor's house. And then Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, or whatever the fuck he is to her, he thinks they're being invaded. He thinks there's a home invasion taking place. So he gets his gun and he defends his life. He defends the love of his life. And he shoots back at these intruders, the little dick incel warrior police. And then they charge him. Breonna Taylor dies. BLM, Sean King, the fake news industry, they all get information. They start doing their usual BS propaganda spiel. And now we're at the end of September. The indictments have been... or the investigation is concluded and there will not be indictments for 2 of the police officers involved. None. They are cleared of all wrongdoing. The 3rd officer, the 3rd guy, he is going to be indicted on the wanton endangerment of an individual, and I don't believe it is going to be Breonna Taylor. Well, that story I told you is so insane. How could they allow these cops to walk? Because that story's bullshit. We've been fed that fucking lie for months, and it did not happen the way that the fake news industry advertised it, the way some of the punditry class described it, the way that my fellow commentators have described this incident. What really happened was Breonna Taylor was under investigation along with her idiot jackass boyfriend for dealing drugs and doing all sorts of other shit. She wasn't an EMT. She got fired from her fucking job like years ago. She's a loser. She's a trap queen. They got recordings of her talking about drug dealing bullshit because she's caught up in the life. The police did not go to the wrong house. They were at the right house. And it wasn't a no-knock raid. They didn't just burst in there like comically stupid commandos. They identified themselves. They knocked. They made their presence known. They did everything that they were instructed to do. And they knew that there were people in the home that they were, that they had a warrant on. And Breonna Taylor was one of the individuals named in this warrant as a person of interest who was involved in this criminal activity. And she wasn't asleep. They were both awake. Unfortunately, she died. I see pictures of her. She looks like a nice person, but she was caught up in the life. She made one bad decision after another, and now she's in this place where her trap boyfriend, her drug-dealing boyfriend, ends up bringing all this fucking heat on them. And instead of surrendering, he fires back, shooting a cop, severely injuring him. He almost died. Bleeding out. He got shot in the leg, I believe. Can't believe it. 2 police officers were shot tonight as I'm making this video. They're in stable condition. One of them is undergoing surgery, but they were alert. They were, but my heart stopped earlier when we did breaking 911 news or whatever. They stated, hey, they tweeted out that 2 officers were shot. I'm gonna play some clips for you really quick on Twitter. This is what happened. This is what fucking happened. Listen to this insanity. There's no violence, by the way. I'm not going to be showing any sort of violence, but this is what is happening on the streets right now.
Shit! Big busting. They shot up. Those are the ones that got dumped. They didn't shoot in the air. They shot at them. Here they come. They shot at them. They're going to arrest you, man. Woo! That's how you got to do it. And the more y'all say how you do it, they're getting ready to come from their rest. That's how you got to do it, though. Here they come. That's how you got to do it. Yeah, that's what thing got us free right now. Man down. Man down. Lay down. That's the way you do it. They busted on him. They got off. They got off on him, baby. Hey, anybody follow the news to make sure, because I'm pretty sure how I seen it, and look back, the guy didn't shoot in the air. So I'm just trying to give y'all leeway to pay attention to the news, the newspaper clippings, anything out of Louisville, Kentucky. So you can send it to my thing to show what I was at. So I'm just giving y'all some intel. Make sure you're paying attention in the next few hours to the news.
We got another one.
Nowhere else. Here they come. Oh, they shot guns at him. Oh, shit. Shit, they're shooting guns at him, real guns. Shit. They're blasting at the police. I'm ready to come from there.
I don't even know, man. Like, it's just unbelievably fucking stupid. Unbelievably distressing to know that this is happening in my country. And there are people like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris that are in total denial of any of this occurring. It's not, they can't say Black Lives Matter is responsible. They can't say that Antifa is responsible. They can't blame Ted Wheeler or idiot like Tony Evers, or Andrew Cuomo, Governor Sisolak, Governor Newsom, for their glaring fucking failures as leaders of these states, leaders of their cities. Unfucking believable, man. Unbelievable. I'm just at a loss of words. What a terrible time to be a cop, being hated, being despised for doing a noble thing. What a terrible time to be an American. Doesn't matter where you are in the country, they're going to come for you. If you're minding your own business, living your life, they're going to come for you if you're not ideologically pure. This is what Marxists do, by the way. This is what communists do. This is what socialists do. If you're not ideologically pure, if you don't submit to them, if you're not in total compliance with every fucking whim they have, they will come after you. From Breaking 911, once again, this is going viral. 1.2 million views. Look what they do to this couple. Yeah, let's turn the audio up so you can hear that. Unbelievably fucking stupid. Unbelievably fucking stupid. I can't believe there are people that act like this. Like, these people actually exist. Unbelievable. Like I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand their thinking, right? They are accosting innocent Americans. It's very likely they agree with them, with their political opinions. They're getting up in their shit. They're threatening them with physical violence. They're ruining their night by intruding on their table. What does this have to do with Black Lives Mattering? What does this have to do with social justice? What does this have to do with combating police corruption? What did those old people do? What did any of those people at that restaurant do? You think you look fucking cool? Honestly, all the fucking BLM losers, all the Antifa cunts that end up watching, you have fucking the Yankee Marshals of the world, fucking boomers, befuddled old dorks like him. What does this achieve? Do you genuinely believe that you look like the good guy here? Like you're the resistance? Like you're the freedom fighter? You're not. People like the Amazing Atheists, they think they're the resistance. That they're the freedom fighters, that they got it all figured out. You don't. It's hard to take people seriously who act like fucking children, who end up crying and weeping and wailing when Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies. It's hard to take you guys seriously as revolutionaries when all of your shitty opinions spring forth from Google, Apple, Microsoft, Chase Bank, PayPal. You're not the fucking resistance. You never were. You're just useful idiots. You're pawns in the schemes of the globalists, of these mega corporations that are violating the spirit of free speech. They are infringing upon innocent people and silencing them because of their lawful speech. These are mostly American companies on American soil, punishing American citizens for exercising their constitutional right. They're silencing people engaged in lawful speech. And these anarchists, these socialists, these communists are defending them. They run cover and interference for the mega corporations. And in return, the corporations protect them. They make it impossible to criticize them. They make it incredibly difficult. While people like Nicholas J. Fuentes, Vincent James, the Red Elephant, James Alsop, Jared Taylor, these people are censored. These people are targeted by professional activists like the ADL and the Southern Poverty Law Center. But you can literally call for violence. You can threaten violence on innocent civilians, and they will protect you. None of this manifest observable behavior bullshit applies to the modern left. It never has. It probably never will. Fortunately, all tech is taking off, and I'm on there because I warned you they're coming for all of us. That wasn't hyperbole. That wasn't me fear-mongering. That was me telling the truth. They're going to come for us, especially people like me. I'm an educational channel. I do firearm content. I teach people about AR-15s and stuff. They're going to come for us. They demonetize us. They banned a handful of us. Unfortunately, a lot of the firearm content creators, with the exception of a small handful, they're kind of boomery, and they don't really know what they're talking about. They're not, their political acumen is not where it should be despite being able to talk about gun rights all day long, issues that matter the most, the kind of issues that would protect the Second Amendment, the kind of issues that were talked about by Vincent James and Jared Taylor, they know nothing of it, or they don't want to talk about it because they're afraid. They can't speak honestly about it because they're afraid. Or they just don't know how to articulate the points clearly because they haven't heard them in the first place. It's totally possible. I don't know. But I'm just utterly disgusted at what I'm witnessing here. The governor of Kentucky should be recalled for the shit show that's on full display for the world to see. Me and a group of people, we've been watching and following all the live streams, and it's depressing, man. It's depressing to see so many young people give themselves to this violent, dangerous ideology. It's sickening to see that events like this are allowed to occur, but small businesses are not allowed to operate and serve the customers that they've served for many years. If you're a spooky-looking biker wearing leather and you're hanging out with a bunch of other spooky bikers wearing leather, that's a super spreader event. Those people are super spreaders. But you can get into groups in the tens of thousands all over the country, burning things down, killing police officers, or trying to at least, and you're fine. You're allowed to do that. And no one will ever talk about coronavirus. No one will ever talk about super spreader events. None of that. Coronavirus seems to disappear. It seems to go away when large groups of people who have a specific political opinion congregate. And you wonder why people are skeptical. Maybe the corona cringe has nothing to do with science and medicine and health, and everything to do with who is sitting in the White House. What is happening all throughout the Western world? People want to be sovereign. People want to be free. And this is the best way to destroy movements that fought for individual liberty, personal responsibility, and sovereignty for free Western nations. You don't need to be a genius in a lab coat to realize some bullshit is happening behind the scenes. Wear the mask, bigot. Flatten the curve, bigot. You're going to kill my grandma, bigot. Fuck you. I'm not wearing your fucking mask. I'm not going to comply. That makes me a science denier, apparently. It makes me a science hater. Because I'm skeptical of these people. Because they blatantly lied. They are duplicitous. They are hypocrites. They're engaged in doublespeak. Double dealing. But I'm the denier here. I'm the science denier. I'm the bad guy in this position. Because I'm thinking for myself. Because I see this bullshit and I don't want to play along with it. I don't want to play along with their games. I'm done with this. And I'm not going to hold back on my criticisms of this violent, dangerous organization called Black Lives Matter. It is a violent Marxist organization. They have always been a violent Marxist organization. They are responsible for many deaths this year. They've radicalized millions of people. Their reach is global, and the only thing that we can do is to speak out against it and be brave. And you will likely pay a penalty for it. But there's nothing wrong with condemning violence, condemning ideological extremism, condemning the harassment and the intimidation of innocent American citizens. There's nothing wrong with calling out the hypocrisy. It's not a crime to notice things. Things are clearly wrong in the world, or at least the Western world. And I see it, and I can't stay quiet. I pray for the President of the United States. I pray things go our way. Pray for the officers who are out there trying to keep the peace. And for those who are recovering from serious bodily injury, like gunshot wounds. I'm not always stoked about some of the things that the police do, but I'm not under the illusion that they're all bad or that they all deserve this, because that's certainly not the case. The Democratic Party is insane. These people are insane. They have to be completely crushed in November. Register to vote. You're going to go down there to the polls. You're going to early vote, or you're going to go on November 3rd. You're going to go in person. You're going to make sure that ballot is cast for the President of the United States and for the Republican Party. I don't know how else, besides speaking out against it, we need to send a clear and loud message, like the president winning his re-election, to let these people know that we're not going to be putting up with this shit anymore. May God have mercy on this nation, because Black Lives Matter won't.